Namaskaram, Mana. So we started this foundation called Isha Pranava last year. So the idea of this is to create sustainable villages. Sustainable means sustainable in every way possible, not only in terms of financial or infrastructure, like economically, ecologically, in every way, human level. So that's why we said it's centered around quality of life and well-being, because if quality of life and well-being are taken care of, it will automatically become sustainable. So we just started with myself right now, but a lot of part-time volunteers are coming and going right now. So at the moment, we are looking to start the work actively.
Yeah. Why I think this will be really, because a lot of us, when Sadhguru talks about, you have to come work for us, a lot of us want to go there, but we don't find that right place or right opportunity. But when I heard about what you were trying to create, I think it would be an opportunity for a lot of us to, support you in what you're doing.
So I was born in Hyderabad, and I also grew up in Hyderabad. Around when I was 13 years of age, our family, we migrated to Canada. So I did my high school, university, masters and everything there. I worked there for a couple of years. And then fate has such that I moved to the US afterwards for work. So I guess right about the time I moved to the US, I had this, maybe 1 year after I moved to the US, I had this one night experience, I just went to bed and I woke up. And it's not like I had the best job. It's like I had the dream job by then. Whatever I wanted to do, I was doing it. I had everything in my life. There's like nothing I didn't want to have. Like everything I dreamt of, I was living the dream in some way. I think maybe in 2014, one day I just went to bed and I woke up and I felt completely different. It's not like any incident happened or situation happened. Like I don't know what happened. It felt as if I have everything I have, but there's still something missing. And it's not happiness. It's like I have everything, in every sense you can imagine. I have everything. What is that missing ingredient? I could not understand. And in some ways, I was looking for the definition of life. I think it just stopped. You're just going and going and going. All of a sudden, you had a stop. And that stoppage happened that night. And from that point on, I started my research on, where I could find my answers. I went through every religion possible that's out there, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. Even within Hinduism, there's so many sects and different things. And I think next 2-ish years, I explored so many paths to find answers. And I could not find what I was looking for. I've been to many ashrams in the US also.
Please tell us a bit about that, the experience.
Yeah. So it's a miracle. The moment, as soon as I had that experience, the first experience, within 3 days, this Akka messaged me on Facebook. That Akka, I've known about her for almost 10 years. She's my best friend's best friend, but unfortunately, we never met. Okay. And what are the odds? She messaged me that day and she introduced me to ISKCON, Hare Krishna.
Right.
Okay, so my journey started with Hare Krishna. And the Hare Krishnas they gave me only one answer. For every question I asked, they say Krishna. And then I'm a logical guy, so. And then 2 days later, my best friend, Sid, he calls me and says, Nishant, we should go to Vipassana. And then I was like, what do you know about Vipassana? Said, oh, my friend introduced me, we should do it. And we planned, okay? We both took vacation. And 3 months later, we were supposed to go to Vipassana. I did Vipassana, he never did Vipassana till today. I want to say, for the first time in my life, I understood what is beyond this physical body. I don't know what it was, but I know and I experienced something beyond the physical. That was my introduction. And for the first time, I understood whatever I read in the books and whatever I learned in the scriptures is nothing. Because it's not your experience. So from that point on, my quest for Guru started. After Vipassana, I went to the RK mission, Ramakrishna Mutt.
Yes, please tell about that. What do they offer any sadhana or practices?
Yeah, so I went to RK Mutt. It's a very small place, Anna. So what happened there was, I read a lot of Vivekananda by then. And I was so inspired, like damn inspired. I was like, wow, if I go to RK Mutt, I'll have the answers. It's like they're talking about Vedanta, Raja Yoga and everything. So I know they know all the answers. I thought they have like amazing meditation techniques and, they're probably just meditating upside down and everything. Like the kind of level of clarity or whatever I read from Vivekananda, I did not see from anybody there. But what they do amazingly well is service, Anna. So I'll tell you, every organization I went to, they do something amazingly well. The ISKCON, they do Bhakti Marg amazingly well. So beautiful, joyful beings. You have to be there to experience that, especially when it comes to the Mahaprasadam time. So beautiful, Anna. We all engage in dance and song. We just go into bliss in a certain way. And Vipassana, same thing. Once you hit that moment, right, there's a moment where you don't realize your body. And that's another type of bliss. And then with RKMR, they are engaged heavily into Karma Yoga, like lot of activity for service. And that gives you a certain bliss. So by this point, I've experienced different marks already.
Right.
Or exposed to it. Not experienced fully, but exposed to it fully. And finally, I decided that, okay, you know what? It's not happening in the US. I have to come to India only. There's no other way. And then what really fast forwarded my journey to India was I went to Cambodia and Thailand in 2016. In Cambodia, I went to a very small village, Anna. Very small village. Okay. And they're very poor. But what I noticed there changed my life forever. Everybody in that village is so happy. Like so duper, super duper happy. I may still have a photo. I'll try to find it. Super duper happy, Anna. And then I wondered what it was. And then I noticed that they may be making very little money, but their natural abundance is just too much. Beautiful. They have beautiful nature supporting them in their life. So that's when it kicked within me that nature has to be preserved in some way. Because money will come and go, but this is what is making people happy and beautiful and blissful without money also. I was in tears at that time, I was like, how could people be so happy? And I'm like coming with this lifestyle where people are saying this is the best way to live in America. And here I'm seeing without any money, they don't have any luxury, nothing. They're just hanging out in the trees and jumping up and down. And even adults, they're just like happy, just like jollily walking here like this. It's when my decision to explore this path got fast forwarded. Because up till then I had my responsibilities with the family also. That's why I waited for some time. And then even then I started to question, really, is this really what I want to do, or am I trying to escape something? So I took 1 year off. I went to Colombia to volunteer. To volunteer as a teacher, Anna. I was volunteering for the government. So what that is, they put you in a school and you had to be teaching English there, basically. So I found the opportunity. I went to a small village in Colombia. It was very beautiful. And I was there for almost 10 months volunteering. And during that was my time with Sadhguru. I have heard of Sadhguru and I thought he was just like a guy who speaks about India,
Right.
Because I've seen his speeches in World Economic Forum and things like that. I just continued to watch and I was like, who is this man? He's answering every question. I was like, this is crazy. And then I looked him up and then I realized he's actually a proper guru, spiritual guru and yogi and everything. And I was like, wow. And I started to watch his videos during my entire 10 months in Colombia. I was watching his videos only, one after the other. Even then I had questions like, is he really true? Because he sounds too good to be true. Too promising, Anna.
Yeah.
I said, I'll go to Isha, spend 1 week. Nothing happens, I'll go to Himalayas. That's it. That was my ultimate solution. Because I don't know anything, I thought Himalayas is the answer. And then finally, I typed in Sadhguru in Google. Some number came up. I called. Can I talk with Sadhguru? They said. And then he was like, Anna, you cannot talk with Sadhguru. I'm like, no. I can take appointment. That's okay. He's like, no, Anna, that is also not available. I was like, what is available? I want to talk to him. It's like, no, you have to do at least inner engineering and then we can see what can happen. And luckily, 3 days after only the course was offered in Hyderabad, very close to where I was living. So I enrolled in the course. I finished the course. Next day, I packed everything and I went to ashram.
Okay.
I did not even know about ashram. I did not know anything about Isha Foundation. For the first time, I went there and I thought it will be like, small kutirs, like small huts will be there.
Right.
That's what I was expecting. And then I was getting closer to the ashram and people were peeking outside the bus at the time.
Okay.
I looked outside and I saw this huge Adiyogi statue. And then I was like, what is this place? I thought it was just going to be small house huts and stuff. And I asked them what this was. They said it's Adi Yogi. I'm like, what is Adi Yogi? It's like Shiva. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I stepped out of the bus and I saw this big Sarpa.
Yeah. Sarpavasala.
Sarpa Vasal. I was like, this is the entrance. Like my imagination was so small, okay, even about the ashram. I thought it'd be like 40-50 people, that's it.
Fine.
Engineering, see, for me, when I first did it, I want to say, my first experience, it was, I fell in love with the teacher more than the program, okay. She was so settled, so calm, relaxed face and everything. Whatever question you ask her, she was like answering like music only,
True.
okay.
Music. Yeah.
And how does she know so many things, I was like that, because I had so much ego. I was expecting something really high, even though inner engineering has everything. I was full of ego, Anna, that's it. So it did not happen to me, I'll be honest. So the program was very well, how do you put it, schedule was amazing, everything was perfect. Shambhavi Mahamudra, everything was so good. The only thing I found was it was just a logical program. I didn't find any essence in it at the time. And then when I went to the ashram and started to do the practice, that's when I started to experience what the program actually offered. So that is one thing I tell everybody. Until you practice, you don't know what it is, really, to be honest. Program is very beautiful, to be honest. And then since then till today, I've done IE at least 10 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So many times I had the opportunity, and every time I learned something new. It's a program of certain depth, Anna. It's like every time you sit, you'll learn something new about yourself. It's not about everybody else also. It's about yourself only, you learn something. Yeah, if you just go with open mind that maybe there's something new, maybe it will open a lot of possibilities. That much I can say. I happened, I went to the ashram, and there's one Anna, his name is Ashish. He also came on the same day. So what, Ashish is a pure Devi devotee, Anna, okay? Day one, I came. He's like, Anna, we should go to Devi temple. And I was like, what Devi? Devi is for all material people. I'm a very spiritual guy. I'll go for the ultimate. You go to Devi. And second day also he pleaded. I said, no. Third day also he pleaded. I said, no. Every day I would go to Dhyanlinga and see what if something happens. Just like what Sadhguru says, if something can happen. Nothing happened to me, okay? Fourth day, I finished Shambhavi practice and came, and he said, Anna, please come. Just once. For me, you just come once. You sit there only for 5 minutes. That's it. I said, okay, fine. I'll come for you. I went there and sat, Anna. And she literally slapped me 20 times. Top. Okay. For me, it was so physical in experience. I was not hallucinating, because for me to hallucinate, I need to have some connection with her. I had no idea about her. I went in with like blind, nothing. I knew nothing about her. I did not know what to do in there. I just went there and sat for the aarti. And top. I just sat there for the next half an hour in tears only. I did not know what happened. And then I went to Dhyanlinga. For the first time, I experienced what Dhyanlinga was. I came out and I thanked Atish so much. And then literally only last year, I read Sadhguru talk about Devi slapping people. Because when I went to ashram, I said, Sadhguru, I'm giving you 1 week. Either you do some miracles or I'm leaving. It's like I was giving him warning. Sadhguru did a rally for Rivers. And people were telling, oh, Sadhguru did the rally. Did you participate? I'm like, what rally? It's like, excuse me, you did not even know about the rally? I was like, no, I have no idea. And they explained the whole process. They showed the videos. I was like, wow. And they said, you can also join the Rally for Rivers team. I was like, what do you do anyway? Do you have to rally? It's like, no. We have to work on the trees, tree plantation, everything. And then somebody gave me the Rally for Rivers policy book, Anna. He printed to read for himself. Right. But he was not reading, so he gave it to me. I finished reading the policy. I was so into it. It's like so beautifully written. In my whole life, Rally for Rivers policy book is one of the best compilations I've read in my life. Simple language, simple, anybody can understand. You can explain the same thing to a farmer and the farmer can relate without any education. It's that simply put. And very beautifully put. Sadhguru's words are even more simpler. And then I became Nadivira, and 6 months later or 4 months later, excuse me, there's this project called Model Village Project. Okay, it's called Isha Model Village project actually. So in the Isha Model Village project, that has been a dream for almost 15 years by then. If somebody will take it up and they want to implement it, it gets dropped. It happened 3 4 times I think by then. And this time my mentor um, Etiappa is the one who wrote the Rally for Rivers policy, who started the Project Green Hands program, and even Save Soil movement. He's one of the minds behind the Save Soil. So he's like the master for environment stuff. So Etiappa was my mentor was our mentor at the time, and he was leading the Model Village team. And I told him, listen, I want to join the Model Village team. And after 2 reluctances, he said, okay, you come join. And I became part of the Model Village team. So the next 1.5 years, we were working on the concept of Model Village. It gets basically, when I say working on concept, we work on some draft. It goes to Sadhguru rejects it. You come back and start working on it again. And then you work on it, and then you submit it, rejection, submit it, rejection, submit it, rejection. Finally, it got approved. And I was jumping up in the air. I was like, wow, this got approved, so we are going to implement this. Because Isha has done everything in the Model Village, but in segments. They have never done everything together. So this is like first opportunity where Isha will get to do something like that, and I thought I'll be part of it. I will be able to experience the whole thing. It's a 10 to 12 year project, and I was very happy. And around the same time, Sadhguru put that Kaveri calling bomb. So we dropped everything we were doing. Everybody is in Kaveri calling. Kaveri calling finished, and then Mahashivratri happened. Mahashivratri finished, and then they said they'll cancel the project only because Sadhguru is taking up bigger things. It could be soil or education or anything. This was in 2020. And then around the same time, Isha was starting an ashram in North Telangana, in near Hyderabad, let's say. And then they said, you can become a full-time volunteer there. I was very happy. Okay, the Model Village, we can do it there only. Everything is set. Isha will take care, so it's even better. I packed all my bags and everything, and next day I was supposed to leave. And then Modi ji made everybody clap in India that day.
Right.
Yeah, pandemic.
Right.
Pandemic. 6 months later, even that project got cancelled. And I spent a lot of time in Telangana itself. I traveled all of Telangana to look for some proper land where we could start the project. But Telangana, it's very difficult to buy land. It's very expensive. And after trying multiple times, for months I tried and I failed. And finally I decided, okay, I'm going to drop this. Around that time, my uncle, fortunately, he bought some land in Karnataka. And he said, Nishant, are you still interested? I said, yeah, it's my dream and Sadhguru's dream. We want to make it happen. So I said, okay, yeah. And I came here to check it out in May 2021 was the first time I came to Mangalgi. And I did not know the language. I did not know the culture. I did not know the people. I did not know anything here. Even the land looked alien to me. It's a drought-prone region. There's not enough water, not enough vegetation. It's very different, and people are like hopeless here. Hopeless means not in a negative way, I'm saying. Because of the circumstances over the last 300-400 years, they just lost all hope in that sense. It's that kind of region. And then the land is there, land is nice, but there's no water. And then I thought, okay, fine, Sadhguru put me here. So, because the moment you come into Sadhguru's, the moment you accept him as the Guru, you become choiceless. You don't choose. This is what's going to happen. This is what's meant to be. And I moved here in July, and I started to study people because I have to understand the culture and the people. That's the first thing I have to do. And then I realized I need a proper place for sadhana. So we built a house also here. So I thought the house is needed not only for me to do sadhana, but if any volunteers come, they need a place to stay also. Because I could see that if my vision is true, I could see many volunteers coming here actually to support the broker who actually showed us the land. He has a small room for cattle. So he vacated the cattle and gave me that room. And that room always had 3 to 4 rats inside. Okay, when I used to sleep, they used to come and play on me. First day I got scared, second day I got scared, third day I just pushed them away. I don't know what to do. And then when it rains, the room will become full of water. So very extreme experience in terms of living, because I came in July time. It started the rains have started by then. So, and then I realized, yeah, you need to build a house. There's no other way. Not for me, for my sadhana to happen. So that's when I started constructing the house. For the next 6 months, I was in that room only, going through all that. So I was looking for a space, Anna, to build the house. And right across from his house, there's an empty plot. And we called the owner and asked how much it is and if we could buy. The owner said 15 lakhs or some number which is much higher than 1 acre of land. And it's a small plot only. I came to the end of the village, the place I built my house. This is the last plot in the village. I took that plot. And I said I'll start constructing the house. And I started studying the people, right? Because now I'm experiencing and talking with people in the village. 1 to 2 months later, I realized that this is not any normal village. It's a very extreme village that my efforts alone will not do anything. Maybe by the time I die, maybe I'll be able to make some difference. But I want to be successful in this. I just don't want to do it for fun. I also want success in this. So I realized we need a strong Shakti Kendra, we say. That means energy center, energy space. And then the first thing that happened to me was we needed Bhairavi here. That's it, Linga Bhairavi. There's no other way. We need Devi here because Devi changed everything within me. She offered so much. I stayed in Isha because of Devi. From the day one till now, she's been supporting me in everything. I said, okay, we need Bhairavi here. The moment I thought, Anna, next day, that guy who didn't decide to sell the land, the plot, he called me himself. Okay, and he offered the plot for 6 lakhs. The moment I thought Devi, that's it, the plot just came to me for less than half the price. And we dedicated that space for Linga Bhairavi, basically, the temple. It will also come up, hopefully with some donations coming in. After my house was constructed, I took 1 month break. I went into silence, full silence for 1 month. And that's a miracle.
You came back to the ashram to take silence, or?
No, Anna. I was in the house only, I was doing silence.
Okay.
That means I closed the doors, gates and everything. I got all the food that I need for 1 month. I piled everything. And basic food only. You can live on groundnuts also. So I got all the groundnuts and everything. I said for 1 month, I'll be in silence doing practices, nothing else. And I'll send you my schedule sometime. It's like jam-packed. From 4 o'clock in the morning till 10:30, you're doing something or other, basically. And without talking, we call it Arya Maunamana. It's like full silence. That means you cannot see anybody or anything. You cannot talk to anybody and you cannot listen to anything. No phones, nothing. It's full silence. So during that time, the 1 month, I built the energy in the house. See, people may not realize this, but when you're doing sadhana, you're also building the energy around you. There's this one Swami, I don't know him, he doesn't know me also. Okay, he came to me and he said, Nishant, I got a message from my guru that you have to go into silence for 1 month. And he called me Nishant, he doesn't even know my name. And then I asked him, Swami, how do you know my name? He's like, my guru told me. I was like, what did your guru send you? He said, my guru sent me with a message, with few messages that you have to go in silence for 1 month. And he asked me to do a few more things in and around the house and in the temple plot and everything. And then I asked Swami, how do you know my name? He's like, my guru told me. He's like, how does your guru know? He said, they communicate with Sadguru. He's like, who is your guru? He is a 400-year-old Swami or yogi in Himalayas. He's still alive, 400 years old. He doesn't eat or drink anything. He's in Rishikesh. His only energy is 1.5 hours of sunlight every day. That's it. I was like, wow, okay, beautiful. He came to me with this message and left. So that was, for me, that was an assurance that whatever I'm doing, I'm going in the right path. That's it. It's not just a mistake that I came into this village or built a house or anything. He's been watching me, that's all. There's no need for him to send any messages like that, to be honest, but he did. So that's his compassion, that's all. So messages like that have come, and he also said he'll help me with the temple when we are ready with the money and everything. So like this, few incidents have happened here and there. I cannot share everything also. A couple of times Devi would send me message. One time I got into an accident, and I very well remember that day she called me, and I ignored her and I just went. And it was such a major accident. My bike was completely gone, but I came out with like a very small injury. Everybody who looked at it, they were like in shock. Like, how did you escape with such a big thing? I don't know how it happened. So the grace is always there as long as you do your practices, and that's all I can say, Anna. It's been a very blissful journey. Lot of pain, but in a very good way. Lot of pain. Coming to the the sustainable village project. So the entire last year I could not do much with it because I'm still trying to gain the people's trust. Now that the people's trust have been gained, so right now we are looking for volunteers specifically to do anything, because when you think of a village, it's limitless opportunities and limitless possibilities, Anna. So really we are looking for anybody who's willing and who wants to make a difference in somebody's life without expecting anything. There should not be, you don't think too much about what about me, and you want to offer yourself to somebody else's life or a village's life. This is a great opportunity for you to come. We have opportunities everywhere. We are doing natural farming soon, education, children, to work with children in primary schools, secondary schools, to work with women directly, because women are very less exposed here to outside. They're not allowed to go out much. So lot of that. And adults, we're training them on farming and livelihoods, and technology teaching, health, especially health is a very important thing. They have no awareness of health here. That's something. And pranic food and natural lifestyle, the opportunities are just endless. So whatever you're interested in, you can come and offer yourself that way. Only thing is you have to be willing. That's all. This is one thing. When I went through all that, I really wanted to make sure that nobody else has to go through that. That's why I waited to get the volunteers, specifically for this reason. I waited 1.5 years that until I set up everything for them, they don't have to leave. So right now we have a proper house with roof. We have internet. We have electricity. We have water. All the basic needs are taken care of. Luxuries will not happen. That much I can. So whatever you expect in the ashram, it's not very different from what you can expect here. Okay, if you go as a volunteer in the ashram, all your luxuries, personal items, you have to take care of yourself. But basic necessities like food, accommodation, internet, electricity, water, everything will be provided. And whatever resources you will need in the activity will also be provided. You don't have to purchase anything. Basics will be taken care of. You don't have to worry about survival. That much I can assure. Isha Pranava Kshetra is a trust we've created. It's a foundation registered in state of Karnataka. So you can donate directly to the trust. I can share the bank details shortly with you. At this point, we've come to a point where we want to build two things this year. Linga Bhairavi temple and Yogashala. Yogashala is to offer yoga practices to the villagers, and Bhairavi temple especially for women, because women are not coming out at all, and Bhairavi will give that opportunity to connect with people and bring women out and expose them to different things. So we want to train women in a different way in this village also. So these two things, we need some money this year. So it will be very nice if you could donate some money. We'll start with the process this year. We are at a time in the world today where we're a very, how do I put this? Our responsibility has to be at the highest. It's more of a obligation than expectation. We are obligated to work with the highest responsibility today only because the previous generation have already passed and the future of the younger generation is not looking very well. So we have the perfect opportunity to lay the seeds for them. So in whatever capacity you could offer yourself, please do it. See, Isha Pranava is something that I started for Mangalgi region. It doesn't mean you have to come here and do it, or you got to go to Isha Foundation and do it. It doesn't matter. Wherever you can offer yourself, you just be the responsible human being and you do what is needed and you do what works. Simple. That is the simplest formula I found, and Sadhguru offered that to me, and I'm doing the same thing. And I hope you can also do the same thing, and we can lay the foundation for the many generations that are coming.